Hey ladies, so we at the Just Real Her team realized that there's a lot of curiosity when it comes to the subject of lesbian, whether it's lesbianism, being a lesbian, how do I know? Am I sure I'm a lesbian? There's so many different things. And women, we are very inquisitive. We're curious creatures just by nature. So I wanted to take some time to tell you a little bit about me. I'm the PR director of Just Real Hair, and I just so happen to be a lesbian. So who better than to share from the voice of experience? So I would say, first of all, if you're questioning if you're a lesbian, really ask yourself, why do I think this? Am I attracted to women? Just because you're attracted to women doesn't mean you're a lesbian. Let's clarify that first of all. You could easily be attracted to someone's style, their personality, the way they carry themselves. We as women, we like to admire other people and we like to look up to people. So a lot of times women will think just because they have an eye for maybe a woman's fashion sense or the way she speaks that they're automatically gay. Not the case. So really, you need to really search deep inside yourself and ask yourself, why am I questioning my sexuality? Or is this really not even questioning, but am I really sure? As for myself, I'm going to share a little bit about myself with you. I was pretty much in a very heterosexual relationship all of my life. However, I did really feel that I just didn't fit me. I tried very hard because that's what society wanted me to do. That's what my family wanted me to do. And I really did it because that's what everyone else wanted, and I was convincing myself. But if you ask me, I knew this a long time ago. I knew that I was very drawn in to women. Case in point, I'll give you an example. When I was younger, about 15 years old, I had an uncle who had an extremely hot girlfriend. And I remember the moment that I was like, wow, there's something different. I immediately felt connected. I wanted to be around that person. And for everyone, let me say, first and foremost, say this. For everyone, it's different. For me, as I, came out in my journey was very extensive, too long for a video, but it was really extensive. But I will share with you this. And looking back, I can see things that would now, as I'm older, would tell me, okay, you were a lesbian, Kristy, but I didn't really know how to put my finger on it. And a lot of times that can come from us being afraid. We can be afraid of being disowned. We can be afraid of not being accepted, maybe getting discriminated at work. There's so many things that really do, and they really do inhibit a woman from really being herself. But I will share with you this much. I really truly believe that unless a woman is fully confident in herself, and that includes her sexuality, she's never going to reach her full potential. Because women, when we give it all. And if we choose to be our best, we have to be authentic. And I'll tell you that making the decision to come out was one of the hardest decisions in the world, but it was the best decision I ever made for myself. It was something that really allowed me to be free. It allowed me to really tap into who I was supposed to be, not what the world wanted me to be. And women, there's a lot of confidence that comes with that. So if you're searching, if you're questioning yourself, here's how to know if you're questioning yourself. If you consider yourself in a quote unquote straight relationship, but you are in the library researching the terms lesbian novels, if you're online and you're Googling lesbian things, there's something inside of you that maybe is a little curious. And here's what I would say to you. Don't automatically assume you're a lesbian, but do take the time to really explore yourself. Because without exploring yourself and getting in tune with yourself, you really don't know, because it's kind of like you can feel those things, but if you don't take the time to really get to know yourself, and self-discovery is so important, because how can you make anyone happy in any relationship or be I would say the contributing partner to whoever you're in a relationship with if you don't know yourself 100%. So if you're thinking, okay, maybe this is what I feel, or I feel very drawn to women, take that time to really look into it and see if that's something that really is for you. When I look back, I I know that without a shadow of a doubt, I know that me being comfortable in my sexuality and finally really making that choice to live an authentic life, not caring what society said, not caring what anyone did. And I gotta tell you, ladies, it cost me a lot. It cost me a lot because I had to choose. You know, when I came out, I really applaud a lot of young people who come out earlier in life because they set the tone. We're in a generation now where people actually come out a lot sooner. You have middle school, you know, you have even younger. And there's a different approach to it now. I think that society's a little bit more accepting than it was before. But I will say that I came out later in life. And because I did that, there was a lot more obstacles that I had to go through just because of the fact that I chose to be authentic with myself after I had so much baggage. And I don't see baggage in a bad way. I say it in a way of the experiences of living for other people was just compounding my life. And with every new experience or every expectation, it made it more complicated. Where when you come out and you're authentic with yourself early on, you're able to just have the best, most potential of your lifespan. You know, the average woman lives to be 80 years old. Think about it. If you are questioning yourself or and you're 12, 13, 14 years old, you have your entire life to understand yourself and to really figure out what you enjoy and what works for you. But if you're an older person, I won't say I'm old, but if you're an older person and you wait till later on in life after, you know, you've had children or you've been married and all those things, then it gets a little bit more complicated, you know, and I really do urge you, and I just tell you that, you know, really be very sure of yourself. You know, a lot of women ask me, they say, you know, I think I'm gay. And I always tell them, well, why do you think that? Is it just, you know, a one-time attraction? Is it ongoing? Is it, oh no, because I think, you know, men did me wrong. Women, just because you have a bad experience with a man, it doesn't make you a lesbian. Not all guys are bad. It doesn't mean, you know, that there's not a good one out there for you. But if you truly do feel that you identify as a lesbian and you feel that that's really what's going to make you happy, then I feel like you owe it to yourself to explore that part of you. You know, there's resources. Every city, state has an LGBT center. Get connected, find it out, you know, attend a group. Maybe there's a lot of women. I'll tell you this much, we found out that there's a lot of research being done on the topic of lesbianism. So that means you ladies are curious. So whether you identify as straight, as bi, as lesbian, whatever it is, as trans, whatever you identify as, that shows that there is a real curiosity and an intrigueness of the subject. So what I would tell you is take some time, research it, connect to your local resources. And to those of you who know for sure that you're a lesbian and know for sure that this is exactly, if I am an example of what you're feeling inside right now, I have a biggest message to you. Be true to yourself. We only get one life, people. And ladies, if we do not allow ourselves the total freedom to be able to be exactly who we were meant to be, and that includes being confident in our sexuality and in our sexual orientation, then we really limit ourselves. Because when you're living inside of a box, you're only going to go as far as that box extends. But if you open up your box, you're able to shine, you're able to stand apart, and you really can be everything you want to be. So if that's you that I'm talking to right now, and you are Googling lesbians or you're going on YouTube videos, I want you to know that what you're feeling right now, it's normal. It's okay. You're not weird. You're normal, first and foremost. And another thing, and I want to really address this, because a lot of times people will say, Kristy, you don't look like a lesbian. Well, I gotta tell you, what does a lesbian look like? A lot of times we get our perception of what a lesbian looks like because of what we see on TV and media. And I gotta tell you, that's not always the case. I have been told numerous times there's no way you could be a lesbian because you're so feminine. Well, I gotta tell it to you this way. What is a lesbian? A lesbian is a woman who is attracted to other women. So just because I am a feminine woman does not mean that I can't be a lesbian. But because of the picture that the media portrays, a lot of times, you see lesbians who are very tomboy, or they're considered studs, or whatever, they take on more of a masculine role. I will have you know that you can be a very feminine woman and be a lesbian. That's a stereotype. So I always laugh when people say, "Oh, but you're so feminine." Yes, I'm feminine and I love women. So I think that's something I really wanted to clarify you. Another thing is people ask me, how do I come out to my parents? How do I come out to, family members? And I tell you this much. Those who love you are going to love you regardless, because love wants you to be happy. They don't care if the person is red, green, purple, guy, girl. They just want you to be happy. And that's ultimately what happiness is loving who you love. And family who genuinely does care about you, they're going to love you just the way you are, because they're going to know that's you at your happiness. If you have to hide yourself to be part of your family, yeah, you really are going to be a very unhappy person. So all I can tell you is really just be honest with yourself. You'll really find that you can really gain a lot of support the minute you make a stand for yourself. The minute you finally say, "No, society, no, family, you're not going to dictate the way I live. You're not going to tell me what makes me important or what makes me normal. You're going to just love me." It's kind of like the minute you take a stand for yourself, everyone else has to stand with you, because you can only admire someone who's willing to take that stand. Now, I will tell you, one thing I do say is that you have to have thick skin. People are not always going to respect it. They're not always going to understand it. But I will tell you one thing. A woman, man, whoever it is that stands on their own 2 feet, they gain more respect, because if you live your life authentically, people can admire that. If you're faking it just to fit in, hey, you can only fake it so long. Trust me, I know.